Hey everyone, this is Rob.
And Michelle.
And welcome to Bunebape, your weekly podcast and everything you need to know about old school RuneScape. All right, so this week up on the docket, of course, as always, we're going to be starting off with our usual updates for us, what we've been up to, and then we'll be going into the updates for RuneScape. We actually have quite a few blog posts to go through, including the community showcase, the Gielinor Gazette, updates from the past Gam Jam, and the actual update for the week, which is going to be Bounty Hunter, as well as the Forestry beta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Exciting stuff.
We'll be going through all that. And then, of course, as always, we'll be ending off with a Q&A. And if you also want to get featured in the Q&A with any questions, whether they be real life or any video games that we may or may not play, feel free to ask us at any of our socials that we'll have linked below or at the end of the pod or on our Discord, which you can actually still connect to with the Discord link, discord.gg/Bunebape.
Nice. I love that.
Yeah.
Keep forgetting about that.
Pretty cool. Thank you again, feeling shy for that.
Yes. Also, I think Ninja has helped with that in the past, too.
Well, of course, yeah.
You're like, not Ninja, though.
No. Of course, thank you, all of our supporters, but Shy did give us a bunch of them.
The one that boosted it really to get to level 3.
Yeah, but without further ado, Michelle, how's it going?
It's going well. So, been doing the bingo this week. Someone already won first place. It was not me.
Wow, that's such a
Sag.
surprise.
Devastation all around for the Boon Babes.
Wow,
That's our name.
the Boon Babies.
You're
More
the Boon
like
Babe.
it.
All right, that's mean. Second place is still for grabs, so we're kind of going for it, but not totally. I guess the winning team, I was told by other people, like, oh yeah, they're gonna win as soon as they enter the competition. I hadn't heard of them before. Apparently, they slept a total of 8 hours the entire first 4 days of the bingo, and they finished that immediately.
Those were the Bunebapeosrs?
Yeah, the Bunebapeosrs. No, they were not. But yeah, so kind of going for second, just seeing what happens.
What do you get for a second?
Second is 25% of the pot, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's still 100 something mil, which honestly is more than I made this week. I did not make that much.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it goes sometimes, I guess.
Well, we thought we were going to make a lot of money rating stuff, but spoiler, we've been doing chambers, no splits, no purples in our name, which is one of the tiles.
Wow.
It is, yeah, we even did a scaled raid, 3 plus 12, and it was a 34% chance of getting a purple, no purple.
Well, I mean, that's still
a third.
Yeah, you didn't do it 3 times. So.
Yeah, but that was we'd been doing raids all week. And then we did that. So we're like, okay, surely.
No, that's not how percentages work.
I know, it's a scam.
Yeah, that's why every time you go for Tangleroot, it's still 1 out of 30,000 chance.
Stop. Why would you bring up Tangleroot right now?
So, just saying.
I'm at 69 mil farming, though. Nice.
That one time, someone let you know that on your 30,000 plot harvest and your first plot harvest the same percent chance of getting
I know, right?
Groot.
I hate it. I hate it so bad. Technically it's actually 50-50.
Technically.
But yeah, so something that did happen in chambers though, we were mostly just doing raids with the Boon Babes all week, right?
Yeah.
I raided in a duo with someone who is not in the Boon Babes. Shout out Des from Twitch. They got a purple in that raid.
Nice.
I turned very toxic when it happened, I'll say.
Yeah, she made a...
flipping off the camera, everything.
You made a short about how upset you were, right?
Oh, I'm going to, yeah. I'm just trying to make more shorts, so I've just been like, all right, what is me overreacting? And I was like, I did get kind of toxic there.
Yeah, she became a big meanie head.
Yeah, and that was double big meanie head. After I saw that as well as a purple, they had gone omelet. And I was like, are you kidding me?
So they hit the mega rare drop table?
I don't know if that's the mega. Is that the mega rare drop table? No, almost its own thing, but still, a pet was also one of the tiles. So
I think.
Oh, for their purple, it was a Dins.
It was a Dins.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah, they got Dins and omelet.
Okay, I think I got it confused because I thought you had to get a mega drop in order to get but I think it's just any drop.
Yeah, any purple. If you didn't know, anytime you get omelet or someone gets omelet, you are guaranteed going to get purple with that.
Yeah, you have to. You have to get one with the other. Well, I kind of wish that's how it worked for other raids as well.
I agree. Yeah,
if you got Lil Zik and also the Scythe or something like that.
Whenever I got my TOA pet for the first time, someone else in my raid had gotten the purple, but it was a ring, so it didn't really matter.
Honestly, they should kind of do that as Well, I don't know if they should. It would be cool if that's how it worked for like other bosses, where it's like, oh, you got the Bando's pet and Tacit's or something like that.
I think it's really fun in Chambers because, I mean, I've only seen someone get a pet twice, but it's like if someone got a pet, guaranteed that they also got a purple. And I
Yeah.
think that's kind of fun that it's like, ooh, and there's another surprise here.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. But yeah, it was pretty upsetting. But, I'm not going to be jealous. I could be happy for them actually and still be jealous. I could have two feelings.
Yeah, you can like be happy and
Wish it was
hate
me.
them at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if Des listens, but if you do, I'm just kidding. GC. They were like 200 KC too. It's nuts.
Wow, that's pretty lucky.
I know, right? My contributions to the bingo have been an Abyssal Whip, which I got a few hours in, and then a Dark Bow, which if you didn't know, Dark Bow you get from Dark Beast. It's a 1 out of 512 drop. It took me 1,600 kills total to get it.
Nice.
1,300 of which had been this week.
That's a lot of Dark Beasts.
I was living a Dark Beast. But yeah, so I contributed a little bit. Subscription got the pet tile the other day. They got I think it was Dagonoth Rex at 8 KC.
Nice.
Earlier today, they got another Dagonoth after less than 20 kills, I think, or less than 50 kills.
Was it Supreme?
I'm not sure. I don't remember their names, to be honest.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite?
I think it's Supreme. It's the one with the red spines on the back.
I like the one that has the eyeball on his chest.
Yeah.
Oh, they got it at Supreme at 54.
Nice.
Supreme is not the one you like. It's
Supreme.
green.
It's Prime. The Prime is what I was thinking of.
The one that they didn't get.
Yeah. So
God, subscription, get the third already.
The two worst ones.
I like that the Dagonoth Kings are each their own pet, though.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Although I do still hate Dagonoth Kings. And
yeah, absolutely.
Especially with the new rings being released, we'll almost likely never go back. And
I'll go whenever I become a pet hunter.
I mean, I say that. I'll never go back after I get the rings on my GIM.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll just wait and have someone else get them for me.
Oh my god, count sharing.
No, it's GIM.
Oh, never mind. Alfresco. Get them rings.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those are my only contributions. I've been doing some sepulcher, trying to get the old lockpick. Found out I'd actually gotten that twice before, and I got super spooned on those two. So I'm like, what are the chances I get spooned again? I don't know.
It's a pretty high drop chance, right?
Yeah, it scales to 1 out of 40 to 1 out of 200. And I can't get the 1 out of 41 because I don't have access to that level. So
Yeah.
1 out of 60 is my best chance. But I don't always make it that far.
What's your agility at?
I'm 90. You have to be 92.
92, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
I'm almost there.
I wanted to go there on my main, but I was like, I really don't want to go until I'm 92 because I feel like it would feel bad doing it without a chance of getting the ring.
No, it doesn't, because let me tell you, you need the practice on these other things. I
Nah.
wouldn't even always make it to the end of 4.
I'm pretty sure I could one-click the whole course.
You're so annoying. He says all this stuff, and then I'm like, oh, try it on my account. He's like, no. And I'm like,
That's account sharing?
account sharing's allowed.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No.
I'm not paying you to do it.
You are.
I'm not. I just want to see if you can. He is all talk.
She's making dinner, which is kind of like payment. So
I just want burgers,
Okay.
and I make them better.
So you heard it here. She's trying to account share.
Stupid.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just like it's fun to make fun of stuff like that.
It's fun to be like, oh, I just want to click it. And be like, oh, try. And you're like, no.
Well, yeah.
I'm going to go play WoW.
Because I could just say that it's too easy and I don't want to make it easy for you.
You're so annoying. One thing that I did this week that was also too easy that Robert could probably do with his eyes closed. I got my fingers.
Nice. Yeah. So for anyone that doesn't know, if you do have a fang by any means, then you have to do a 500 of any of the challenges. So 500 total level for your Tomb of a Masket raid, deathless, and you will get the Fang ornament kit, which makes it black and red.
And sharper.
And swing, swing,
Swing, swing, swing.
sharper.
Whenever you compare it to before it just looks like a little wiggly line. And
Yeah.
now it's like,
Yeah,
very
they add extra spikes for
Yeah.
extra damage that is not actually there, but it
doesn't
feels
do
like
anything,
it's there.
but yeah, it feels stronger now.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm so excited. I remember I made a short about that as well. I don't know. I was talking in that about how whenever we first mentioned ornament kits, I never thought I remember mentioning the thing and being like, oh, I'm never gonna be able to get that. I didn't even think I'd get the other one. So now I have one.
Nice.
Yeah. It ended up being in a trio with a villain and subscription, 2 people in my bingo. And we did during the bingo too. that was cool. It was the first day, and then like 2K later, we got a purple. So then we never did TOA again for the rest of the week.
That's cool.
Yep. I actually did go back last night for the first time in a second, but oh, I got a Grandmaster last night on accident. So I had gotten one last week with Villain, and it was like the perfect Baba room. And we're like, oh, okay, that was like a master one. And then yesterday, without realizing, we got the Grandmaster, which is the perfect Baba puzzle room and Baba room with all the infos
That's
on.
cool.
Yeah, we weren't even trying. I was like super tired. Like it was the last thing I was doing before I went to sleep and stuff. So I was like, oh, okay.
That seems kind of annoying for the puzzle room at least, because I'm pretty sure perfect just
puzzle room
means
is annoying.
you don't get hit.
I think you can get. I think it's more the specials.
I think perfect.
Don't step in poison and don't get hit by the specials.
Perfect means you avoid all avoidable damage.
Exactly. Yeah, you still get hit because like obviously you can't be switching prayers that quick.
Because other bosses that can hit through prayer, you can still get perfect, but it's just avoidable damage.
Yeah, and it has to be in under 3 minutes.
Nice.
And I'm pretty sure that's with it's an expert with all the infos on too.
Okay.
Yeah. So accidentally we got that, which is cool because now I never have to specifically grind for it, which I would hate to do.
Now we never have to go to TOA again, so we're done with TOA forever.
Any of the other ones. I think I have perfect Kefri puzzle room, but certainly not perfect Kefri.
Really?
No, because there's a couple ones that. Oh, you know what it is? I think you have to have all the infos on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I was thinking back and I was like, well, wait. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100%.
So
don't quote me on that.
Kefri is pretty easy to not take additional damage.
It's like easy, but it's like one mistake and it's just so annoying.
That's everything. But
I know. But like the dung, you could get trapped so easily and it's like, oh.
Yeah. I guess I was more thinking of it compared to like the Baba puzzle perfect room.
Oh, yeah. The Kefri puzzle is easy.
Yeah, exactly.
That one I got like a long time ago.
Yeah, it's kind of like the opposite of those two rooms.
I mean, to be fair, there could be an expert version of that. I don't know if I did that normal or expert. It was such a long time ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, accidentally doing combat achievements. I love it. Closer and closer to the Versic helm. As in I'm not close at all.
Just right around the corner.
I also did some Vedion last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I got another combat achievement because I got 20 Vedion kills.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Vedion is really fun in duos.
Oh, you should I for some reason whenever you said Vedion, I thought you were talking about Calvarion.
No, we did the regular one.
Okay.
Yeah, it was me and Villain went. Some PKers showed up. I got away from them once, but then I died the other time.
Yep.
So whatever. I didn't lose too much. I wasn't bringing that much. But Vedion is actually so fun. I was like, oh dang, I wish this was in the wilderness. But I guess if it was in the wilderness, the drop rates would be so much worse.
Yeah, I think Vedion is actually pretty good money per hour as well.
It is. It's like at least $1 million an hour.
Yeah.
I was losing it,
but definitely at least $1 million an hour.
I was like losing all my drops, obviously, but the way I was thinking about it is I don't count the drops as like additions to my bank until it's in my bank.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like they just don't exist until I actually have it in my bank. So I wasn't worried about that. I was more worried about my gear, which was very cheap.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of fun. I got the skeleton champion scroll from Vedion. 1 out of 5,000 chance.
Yep.
Yep. That's like 2 times the drop rate.
Yeah, but I mean that's all skeletons.
That's true. Yeah. I left immediately after that. I was like, I do not want to have to grind for the scroll again. Like I need to get out of here.
Oh, you went and kept it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
because I want to get the cape eventually.
Yeah.
I'd never gotten it before.
I think I have that one, and I might have the hill giant one.
I had the hill giant, and I definitely had the goblin, and I think the imp.
Yeah.
I'm slowly doing them.
I don't think I ever kill those other two, so I think those are the only 2 I have.
Whenever I have one left, though, I'll probably go and actually grind it. Just might as well. But yeah, until then, like, I'm not trying to kill like 1 billion zombies, so we wait.
Yeah, I've heard, I mean, obviously it's RNG, but yeah, some people grind for like, I've seen as much as like 16k, and it was like hill giants, I think it was.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the more annoying ones.
It was like 16 or 22k.
Jeez.
But yeah, kind of annoying.
Yeah, so I don't want to totally grind that. I just like the happy accident of seeing the collection log slot and then being like, oh, cool, all right, we take that.
I wish they would add it so there was a way to wear the champion's cape with the max cape, but
isn't that what everyone's been saying forever?
Well, not just that, but I don't have one, but I still hate the idea that you can customize your max cape and then not keep the abilities of the max cape.
Oh, and you customize it, you lose that?
Yeah, so like
for sure, or do you just think that?
No, so if you customize your max cape by, let's say, adding the like not the Legends, is it the Legends Guild cape, the light blue one?
I don't remember, to be honest. Might be Myths.
Yeah, Myths. I think it's the Myths Guild cape. If you add that to it, it turns it light blue, and it's a light blue max cape, and then but it's actually just a like it turns into just the capabilities of the light blue cape, but it shows that you're maxed as well.
Yeah. So it has the max. It has the stats of max though, because that's otherwise no one would ever use that. But it gets
Uh,
rid of all the tellies.
yeah, I don't know about the stats, but yeah, it gets rid of the tellies. I
That's
could be
annoying.
wrong, but I remember
Neither of
looking.
us are maxed.
Yeah, I remember looking this up and being like, why on earth? Because it's the same thing for Inferno Max capes, for example.
hmm
It's essentially a Inferno Max cape or an Inferno cape.
Oh,
It's
interesting.
not really a max cape. It's
It's
just
just a flex.
yeah, that's literally all it is.
Interesting. Okay. I don't know
Yeah.
how I feel about that.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that is at least fairly correct.
Yeah.
Let me know if I am wrong because that would be embarrassing.
Oh, they
But
will.
oh, I know.
Oh, they will.
Oh, I know. But yeah, I remember seeing that and being like, why would they do that? Because you can't like flex the way you would want to.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of annoying if that's a thing.
Yeah. Either way, I always thought that was kind of weird,
Yeah.
but
But how have you been?
pretty good. I have been very very busy,
Yes.
incredibly so.
Yeah, we're actually recording this all on Thursday, so this is gonna be out super late.
Yeah. So while this was a short week, I've been busier than ever because I started my new position this week.
Woo!
So a lot of learning, doing extra stuff at home for the job as well.
But you like it more?
And yeah, I mean, overall, I like it better. I'm still like, it's really hard to say. I mean, because I've only been there 4 days
Of course.
or three, but
Sometimes you start jobs for the first time, you're like, oh no.
yeah, overall, everyone seems good. I have a good feeling about it so far, so it's
Nice.
nice. Besides that, I've only been able to play like a little bit of stuff. I haven't played any RuneScape this week.
Yeah.
I haven't even played any World of Warcraft this week. I haven't played anything.
We've had to keep like going and like we don't have a printer, so we have to like go to the store to print stuff out.
Yeah,
and,
so
like buy more work
we
shirts.
had to run errands. We went like shopping for work. So I was just like
Weirdly, a lot of things to do outside of work for work.
yeah, and then like going to the store. So a lot of busy stuff this week.
Oh, side question: how often do you guys go to the grocery store per week? Do you think?
Yeah,
We go
this is
like
for everyone else.
every other day.
Yeah, we
But
go
I
a
kind of
lot.
like that more. I like the smaller, more trips. I like going to the grocery store. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Weirdly.
It's okay. But yeah, besides that, I have played a little bit of video games, being Deep Rock Galactic. If anyone knows,
Yeah, random. You got back into that again.
I've talked about it in the past. Well, it's not random. There's a
Well, you
new.
were playing WoW, is mostly what I mean.
Even when I was that was the game that I've actually kind of been playing semi consistently for the past few months. Where like
Yeah.
I'll like pop in and play. It's nice because it's session based, so you can just jump in and be like, all right, I'm gonna play for 30 minutes, which is like usually one game, and then you can get on to whatever else you're doing. So usually I only have like an hour when I get home, so I'd play like one, maybe two games, and then I'd go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that game's really fun. They're having an update for it fairly soon, which is actually pretty exciting because they go through. This game is the best. They don't charge you for anything. So
Does it cost money to buy though?
yeah, it costs like $30, I think, or $20 if
Someday
you get
I'll
on
buy
sale.
it because every time I see him playing, I'm like, this looks really fun.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. For anyone that has missed it, the game is you are a dwarf in outer space that kills bugs to collect minerals.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty simple.
Sounds just fun. Do
Yeah.
you explore a lot?
Yeah, so like you spawn into like a generated room, like a randomly generated like tunnel, like maze of tunnels,
Mm-hmm.
and like you'll have different objectives, different types of bugs, and there's different characters you can play that have different weapons.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's been pretty fun. There's a new update. Like I said, it is free. All of their seasons are free, and the new season comes with like, it's like a battle pass system where there's if you play so long, you'll unlock more and more cosmetics, and like I said, they're all free.
Mm-hmm.
There's no like paid version of it at all.
That's good.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. That's coming out soon. That's why I've been playing it a little bit more, and I have friends that play it as well. Even though I haven't been playing with them, it's fun to play with them whenever they do.
Yeah.
So besides that, I've been playing that, and I guess the big thing is today, right after this is done, Michelle will be editing it, and I'll be playing Diablo 4.
Yeah. You excited?
Yeah, pretty
I was
exciting.
hesitant for a second.
I was hesitant, and then I wasn't, and then I was.
Mm-hmm.
Because
He's been watching people's reviews, so.
yeah, mostly because I'm comparing it to the other main game of its type that's popular in
Can't compare it to
the
its own
genre.
game.
okay. But the other game in its genre, which is Path of Exile,
Which
which
everyone loves.
is free, which is nice, and has regular updates, which is nice. And none of those things are true about the past Diablos. So it's hard to really compete. Honestly, while there is going to be more people playing Diablo 4, I find it probably is going to be a lot more likely that Path of Exile will still probably be a better game, in my opinion, at the end of the day,
Hmm.
regardless of how much fun I have with Diablo.
Yeah.
Which is why it was kind of hard for me to like justify buying it because it's a very expensive game for anyone looking to get it early. It's $90,
Think of it as your
and
reward for your new job.
yeah,
I guess.
it's a $70 game, but if you wanted to
Oof.
buy it and play it early, it's 90. So
Jeez.
little expensive,
Just a little.
just a little. Either way, though, I'll be playing that pretty much all weekend probably, and hopefully have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have friends playing it too, so that'll be cool.
Nice.
But yeah, I think that is all with me.
One more thing. I don't know if I added it last week if it's done yet, but we have gotten our bit badges in.
We did get
They're
new bit
adorable.
badges.
They're little baby capybaras holding the gems.
Yeah,
They're super cute.
baby bit baras.
Baby bit baras, and then we also have a tier sub badge, which I'll be able to use in like a week.
Yeah, it's nice. So we've almost fully fleshed out all of our available badges and emotes.
Almost, yes.
Almost.
As soon I added the new badges, and then there was one that nobody had yet for people to work towards, and then 2 people got it right after I got the bit badges. And I'm like, okay, well now I need another one that no one has to work towards.
Yeah. So for
Some of
anyone,
that later.
also anyone that doesn't know, have any idea or clue what we're talking about on Twitch, if you you get like emotes and badges that you can type in chat, which is cool. So that's almost all done. And then we also, if you do donate bits, now you have a cool little emblem to signify it. Because
Yeah.
before I think it was plain.
Yeah, it was just like the shape of random gems, but now it's capybaras holding them, and they look more detailed.
Yeah, and we
But
also
then they're
got
babies.
a birthday capybara because we
Yeah, our
have
second
some
birthday
people
one.
coming up for a 2-year anniversary.
Mhm.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll probably do something for the actual 2-year anniversary, but it's not really like you get the 2-month badge before it's technically, or sorry, the 2-year badge before it's technically the anniversary. I
Yeah.
think our anniversary is more like at the end of next month,
Yeah.
but I'll have to double check that. I'll let you guys know. I'll do something for it.
Either way, that'll be pretty exciting. We'll update
Uh-huh.
you whenever that does come around. But speaking of updates, we can move on to the actual update for this week,
Yeah.
or at least one of them, which is going to be the community showcase,
Yeah, so they actually did the community showcase in the Gielinor Gazette separately this week.
which is what
Or
they
this
said.
month.
Which is what they said they would probably start doing in the past.
Yeah, I think that they did separate last month too, so I don't really know why they wrote paragraphs about like we're doing a
Yeah,
separate.
they totally did, and they said that that's what they were going to plan on doing, and then
I
they
guess just a reminder.
let us know again. Either way, they started off with a creation station session showing off some player art, which I think was actually done really well.
Dude, they have a Dagonoth King one that makes me want the Dagonoth King's pet.
Yeah.
Like, I'd never really wanted them before, but this person's art is so good. They also remind me of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Honestly, not to say anything bad about other artists, but the artists this week, at least the ones they're showcasing, I think did a pretty cool job.
Yeah.
They have like a take on, you don't know what this is, but the Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh.
It's a pretty popular anime, and they did like a take on that with the dragon helm. And it's pretty cool because they named it after it, and he has a steel arm similar to the main character.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't get it.
Yeah,
And then a cute little spooky character. This looks like some art that we'd have on our wall.
with what looks like the spear of light. So I like that they have a really niche weapon in there.
That's cute. I like it. And then, yeah, the DKs I love. So they had a 3D version of Muspa with a player holding a Bofa, a crocheted full Justy. Like, the skill for that, I feel
Yeah.
like, is crazy.
Actually crocheted the whole thing.
So cool.
Pretty cool. And
Is this real? I literally can't tell.
no, this looks like
Is
a
it digital art?
like a rendering of what the true blood altar would look
Whatever
like.
it is, it's really pretty.
Yeah.
I'm like, is this? I can't even tell if this is like a diorama. It looks crazy.
Yeah, really, really well done. So
Oh,
shout
pretty.
out
Some
to
sketches of the shadow, and then also like a little. Is it crocheted?
Yeah, it's knit.
Aw, it's a knit thing showing all the skills in the game, which
Yeah.
is not gonna be relevant.
And then
soon.
also a 3D printed Muspa, which you
oh
went
yes,
over.
yes.
And it's
some
cool,
cool stuff.
because it's Muspa as well as a full
Crystal.
armor.
Which seems
so-
like it'd be really annoying to make.
Yeah.
It's like the worst armor to do for it.
So shout out to all the people that are much more creative than I will ever be.
Right.
And we can move on to a few more notable videos that maybe you guys want to check out this week.
Yeah. So first up, they mentioned Coxie has been working on a brand new series by speed running, obtaining every OSRS pet. Episode 4 is out now, so you could go check that out.
Speedrunning.
Wait, what did I say?
No, you said it correctly, but it's just imagining speedrunning a pet.
Oh, I was like, huh.
You're like, cool, speedrunning farming. I'm on day 453.
Yeah, right. Next up, you want some longer form content? Why not try out the Sebe cast? Sebe is actually like a streamer who it's kind of like a podcast. I'd consider this a podcast, but they consider a collection of interviews with some players and JMods at RuneScape.
No, certainly a podcast.
Yeah, it's definitely just a podcast.
Sebe
fellow
is
podcaster,
a pretty popular streamer and fellow podcaster. I like their content.
Yeah. You can also, if you want to see something more extreme, check out an Ultimate Iron series from Cursed Spirit that's locked to content that only came out before 2006.
So if you want old, you got old.
You got old. Maybe you just want some friends to play with. Why not give them some of the best reasons to join in on RuneScape with a video from Rune Wraith? So how to convince your friends to play OSRS? You need to send this to your friends.
Oh, yeah. So the best way to convince them would be like, oh, yeah, they totally changed all the graphics and they're brand new. And then when they log in and it's not, be like, oh, yeah, just kidding. But now you have to play.
No, just say it's unlocked after 20 hours.
Yeah, it's unlocked after you play you get your first 99. And then they'll be sucked in forever.
There's also a new season of The Farmers. They are now back. So the group is going to be Foe, Mr. Mammal, MORPG, Roydy, and the Cookies. So this is going to be a hardcore group iron series.
Yeah, farmers are they went pretty hard last time for sure.
Yeah. But moving on to community achievements.
Oh, this one's pretty funny because this is a pretty
This was so random.
This is a pretty well-known content creator. For anyone that doesn't know, Penguin Zero, aka Moist Critical or Charlie, has a really big YouTube channel. I think 13 million subscribers last time I checked, but they have been a long time RuneScaper themselves, even making several videos on the game.
Yeah.
And they actually finally maxed. It took them
Did
17 years.
That's gonna be
just
me
like
for real.
Yeah, just like the rest of us, or a lot of us at least. It was a lifelong achievement for them. So
that's so cool.
Nice that he actually finally did it.
Yeah.
And then moving on to the next one, we have Manure Muzhar.
Love that pronunciation. Who knows if that's right?
It's Manure Muzhar. I have no idea. Either way, they finally got their quest cape, but
Juicy.
at what cost?
If you guys don't know, we won't spoil the end of DS2. But
we will not.
You'll cry.
Yeah. Little sad. But either way, we are going to the next person, which got their quest cape as well. But this is a little bit more, I don't know. I hate saying one is more important than the other.
I won't say it's more important. I'll say it's more difficult.
Slightly more difficult, yeah. Because this was for Fuffle Fuff, and they got their UIM's quest cape. So shout out to them. And the next person actually ended up maxing a skill. So shout out to the Pro Skeleton. They have maxed their second skill being rune crafting, I think it is.
Yeah, they literally even said starting with the least popular.
Yeah.
I like that they're calling themselves out a little bit like that.
Yeah, so that's
actually like kind of a flex.
Their second max on their grind to max them all.
A bold skill to choose as your second.
So shout out to them. I would not want to max runecrafting, even if I do like Guardians. I do not know if I like it that much.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to I Am Always Hungry for their name because that is me incarnate. And they got a baby mole. So.
Yep. No one in their clan saw it either. They show their clan chat saying, please say someone saw that. And then, oh, man.
Rest in peace.
I like the picture they submitted because for privacy's sake, they put a line over their character's eyes and over the baby mole's eyes.
Yeah. And also
the
amount
protect their baby's privacy.
Also the amount of air runes they have.
How much air runes do they have? Oh my god. They protected that too.
Yeah, it's
redacted.
Literally redacted. So, yeah. Also, I mean, while I like their achievement, I have to give them points off for not having a naked baby mole rat.
I know the naked one's kind of cute.
I mean, at least,
You just think he looks like me.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
So I have to like it. And we have the final OK Nate. They probably spent a little of this year's RNG budget on grabbing their PB for Hispori at the same time as getting the bottomless bucket and 99 farming.
Bruh,
So
all in one go.
quite a bit of a lineup. I think they were probably just planning on getting 99 farming and happened to get lucky.
Yeah, triple lucky there.
Yeah. So for anyone that doesn't know, it's actually pretty difficult to get a fast Hispori, or at least the fastest Hispori. I'm not sure if
It was just a new PB for them.
yeah, I'm not sure if it's the fastest, but they definitely got a new PB, which is cool.
It could be frustrating. It's like I've taken hundreds of kills in between PBs before.
Yeah, their PB, I think it says it's a little over a minute and 3 seconds, so pretty fast. But surprisingly, for anyone, shout out to anyone that does have the fastest Hispori kill that you can get for the achievement, which I think is 40 seconds.
I think it's 1 second.
I think it's
No,
half a second.
It's not 40 because I have 36.
No, I think that is no, I think 40 is for the highest achievement.
Oh, never mind. I think 36 is the achievement. I have 34.
Oh, is it?
Something like that. I remember I barely made it, but I think it's 30 something.
Oh, really?
It is awful.
For the fastest Hispori, it's like 30 seconds.
For the combat achievement.
Oh, wow.
Because you have to literally use a crystal Halley and a scythe.
Yeah, I thought it was 40 seconds. Wow, that's even faster than
Yeah.
I had even thought. Yeah, that is very, very fast. It is quite an RNG fest getting it. So shout
Watch me
out
be
to,
wrong. It's actually 40.
No, you're probably right. So shout out to OK Nate, and also shout out to anyone that happens to have that achievement, because I've always thought that was pretty impressive.
I got that one on accident. That one was fun.
But that is it for the community showcase. So hopefully, if you want to get submitted and get what's it called?
If you want to submit your
Showcased.
own stuff that you've been making progress on, there is a link on the post that you can go and submit.
There is, and hopefully you'll get showcased in the next community showcase.
I should start sending stuff in.
Yeah, we should all.
Honestly,
We should
yeah.
just flood them with submissions
We
of just
should.
the most random things.
Yeah.
Be like, I found a long bone.
Yeah, maybe they'll post it.
Maybe they will.
Next up, moving on to the Gielinor Gazette. They start out by having an event trailer for the 4th annual Crusader class event.
Crusader Classic.
Crusader Classic event. So in the video description, they say tune in June 3rd at 9 p.m. GMT to watch 16 of your favorite content creators battle it out for $5,000 over at twitch.tv/evscape. So this is just a tournament that's being run entirely by Crusader talent. They reached out to Jagex, asked if they'd like to sponsor the event, and we did. So it's just a little event that's going on. Check it out.
Yeah, I think they have this. Well, this is annual, so this is definitely every year. But I'm not sure if
It's not usually powered by Jagex, I imagine.
yeah, I'm not sure if it's usually powered by Jagex, but they've been doing this a little bit, so that's kind of cool. Where they set up and help out other content creators to make like little events with their own custom realms or servers and everything.
Yeah, probably be fun.
Yeah, so pretty cool.
We have some project updates. So for the new skill, this month we proved once and for all we have the technology, we can build sailing. You expressed some concerns when we first pitched our new skill, making boats move in a non-instance area in this economy. But we believed in our idea, and earlier this month we showed off an early prototype of the tech that'll power sailing. And we went over this video on our sailing refinement blog episode.
Well, yeah, pretty much all this stuff I'm almost certain we went over.
Yeah.
So this is really just a
little bit of a review.
look at it again. But for anyone that did miss it, they do have a short video where all of the mods some of the mods actually
Every single mod.
go over what the actual sailing is going to look like. So there's a video showing what it'll look like. You can actually move around on the boat. You can go and look at people on the shore.
Yeah, and just to be clear, it's just how the mechanics would look like. This isn't, the art's not final or anything.
It's not even close to final. It's just to show people an idea of how sailing would actually be like.
Yes. Before we move on, we'd just like to remind everyone that shamanism, the runner-up in the new skill poll, will be considered for refinement once we're wrapped up with the sailing skill. Obviously, you can't work on both skills at the same time, but nothing's off the table yet.
That's funny,
we'll
because
see.
that is not obvious to me. I feel like you could have just 2 teams doing it, but
Then
now
they'd
it's
have to hire
obvious.
more people.
Yeah, now it's obvious, so good thing we know.
Yeah.
Then moving on to Desert Treasure 2, The Fallen Empire. So development continues for DT2. And for anyone wondering, they have a lot of information on it. And we've already gone over a lot of this. But they say recently we put our playtesters through their paces against our 4 new bosses and received some great feedback. So we're putting it into action as we speak. Meanwhile, we're preparing a second beta for the Ruinous Powers prayer book. For anyone that doesn't remember, they put that on hold because
Bounty Hunter.
A lot of people didn't like it,
Well.
and they didn't want to go into a holiday with the betas staying up, so they took them down so they could refine the prayer book, and we are going to have them soon, hopefully.
Cool. Moving on to Bounty Hunter. Everyone's favorite PvP minigame has finally returned and brought with it plenty of bloody battles. Since launch, we've been working to make sure your feedback is addressed, and in tomorrow's game update, you can expect to see the following changes. We're going to go over this a little bit again soon, so I'll just read a couple, like skipping unskilled target no longer contributes to your skip limits, Purdue has been added to Bounty Hunter lobby, and the Wanderer range and placement of the Corrupted Warriors have been moved because, like we mentioned last week, they are really in the way when you're trying to bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go over the rest of them in the update post.
Yep. And also there is a actually pretty useful guide on how to build the perfect starter for if you are new to Bounty Hunter and stuff like that. So if you want to build a pure or anything like that, you don't know how to go about it, there is a video linked there so you can help you jump into Bounty Hunter.
Awesome.
Yeah, pretty useful, especially for new PKers. And also there is a pretty cool update that we are also going to go over in the actual update in just a minute. But I will cover it here, saying that there is an update for Forestry, Way of the Forester. So, like I said, we will cover that in just a minute. But you can expect something to happen on June 5th.
Not released, just to be clear.
Not released.
All right, moving on to quality of life polls. Cast your minds back to the Poll 78 news post, where we include a survey that asks what changes, if any, you'd like us to make to TOA. Did you have some suggestions? If so, you're in luck, because that's what's coming in our next quality of life poll. I'm excited for this.
Wow.
So we know that TOA is relatively new content. That's why they especially want to be getting all this quality of life stuff sorted out now before they move on. So it's not like everything else we're in 5 years. They're like, hey, we're finally going to change this.
Yeah, it's funny because it is technically new content.
But it's been almost a year.
It's pretty old at this point.
It came out in August.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although we can't use every player suggestion, we spent a lot of time discussing your most requested features, including changes to Akka's orb phase, the one with the nickname we shall not repeat here.
Yes.
If you know, you know. And balancing the path of Ampikin.
Yeah, and also
Baba,
if
basically.
you are thinking that we are just trying to censor the name of the phase, that's actually the way they presented
No, they said
it here.
that. Because if you know what it's called, just look up what's the orb phase called.
No, don't look it up. If you know, you know.
We're still deciding whether the TOA changes will be the main focus of Bulls 80 or whether we should add some other topics in the mix. Top of the list, of course, are Blood and Soul Rune packs and splash weapons. We spoke about both these topics in the Poll 7 news post. The potential change to splash weapons really only impacts the level 3 skiller community, so it'll let them train Slayer more efficiently than the Varric Museum at any rate. Yeah, the Varric Museum to get 99 could take around 1,200 to 7,000 hours AFKing at the museum. So with this new method, it would be reduced to around just 1,400 hours of relatively engaging, fun gameplay. So more engaging, better content for everyone all around, feels like.
Yeah.
Like, who wants to stay at the museum? That sounds awful.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure for anyone that doesn't know the method, you are just like...
You're just hoping for XP lamps.
You're just cleaning sand.
Yeah, you're cleaning stuff, hoping to get XP lamps.
Yeah.
It's awful.
It's very low. I think it's like 2,000 XP an hour. Or something like that. It's very, very low.
And super RNG dependent, because you could tell their window is like the least amount and then 7 times that for the max amount.
So like technically if you get a book or if you get, you know, what you're looking for every time you go cleaning, then it would be relatively fast.
Yeah.
But obviously that doesn't happen. So it's probably around 3,000 to 4,000 hours, you know, if you average it out.
Yeah. Now on to rune packs. These were our proposed solution for the problem of upkeeping charged weapons, but the community didn't seem keen on this plan. In particular, you're concerned about the already low price of blood runes. So in response, we've been discussing a few other options, including increasing rune pack offerings and making it possible to unlock a reduction in the cost of your charged weapons, namely the scythe. Both ideas have their pros and cons, and we'll discuss them further in an upcoming news post. If this is something that goes forward after your input, we'd look to offer the rune packs in the short term and in the longer term address economic issues of blood runes by reducing drop table quantities and adding the scythe unlock. In the meantime, let us know your initial thoughts about both ideas, and we are excited to hear what you think. So make sure to submit you guys' stuff if you have thoughts on this, please.
Yeah. I am looking forward to another quality of life post or just
I love the quality of life ones.
Just another poll in general because it's been quite some time since the last one.
I know, they haven't even finished. I mean,
they
haven't finished 79. Yeah.
They still haven't even come close.
It's unfortunate.
Also, moving on to some mobile news. Unfortunately, they did have to delay the mobile TLI news post that they spoke about in last month's Gazette. But to make up for it, they want to give a little bit of information. So they said, you'll not only get a better preview and proper explanation of how the new mobile interface works, you'll also hear exactly why they made certain decisions. and that explanations will be accompanied by actual gameplay footage. So you can see how the new interface works in action. We're not just talking about a lovely stroll around Lumbridge either. We're talking herb runs, the corrupted gauntlet on mobile, and loads of other familiar content. So the main reason for the delay is that they're working hard behind the scenes to ensure that you get a proper hands-on experience with the new design. So
That's nice that they're going to do that.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Next up is Jagex accounts. So the Jagex accounts open beta is well underway with over 40,000 accounts created. Meanwhile, the team is still hard at work exploring new features and making improvements. So, for example, they've already released 2 new updates already. Firstly, you can now have up to 20 characters on your Jagex account. That's double the number of characters you could have before.
Not enough.
Not enough. We've also made it easier to import more characters once you have a Jagex account. The characters page now suggests characters that share your account's email address, and you can import them even if you have forgotten the old password. Next up, we're working on a feature that will let you reorder your characters so your favorites are at the top of the list.
That's cool.
Yeah, I know. That sounds pretty handy. If you missed it in our previous news post, we've also recently launched a feedback survey. And whether you've upgraded to the Jagex account or not, we want to hear from you. So let them know what you guys think about this down in the survey on this post. One kind of behind the scene thing that's going on, there's a bit of team changes happening at Jagex. So right now, everyone basically has the title of content developers. They're going to go ahead and separate these a little bit now to have game design, narrative design, systems design, and technical design. And then again with like junior, standard, senior, lead, and principal positions. So everyone will have more specific positions. Honestly, kind of weird that they didn't before. But okay.
Yeah, I guess so.
They're all just like content developers. And they're like, of what? No one knows.
And then finally, we have the future of narrative. Now, the writer of this blog may be a little biased, but one thing that's become clear over the last 10 years is how important quests and narrative are to the fabric of OSRS. In the past, we've gathered some great feedback about our storylines from the annual survey. Now we want to take things a step further with a dedicated narrative survey. So if you want to get feedback on any of the lore or any future plans for quests, then you can check out the link and give your feedback there, and maybe they'll take it on board next time they do a quest.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool survey to do.
Yeah.
Moving on to the most fun part.
Yes, so this is going to be a recap, an overview of the April 2023 Game Jam.
Game Jam.
Number 3. So
I'm more excited about this than I am about the update.
Yeah, I think this is honestly probably much more interesting, at least to us, than the update or any update we could probably have gotten recently.
Yeah.
Although, not knocking
all the
on
ideas.
Bounty Hunter, but these just usually have a lot of pretty cool things in them.
Definitely.
So all these projects are just concepts. They do have to do this disclaimer every time.
Just a reminder, guys.
Yeah, and if you do want to check them out, they do have a Game Jam live stream happening on Monday, June 5th between 4 and 6 BST PM. And so you can head over there under the Twitch channel, RuneScape Twitch channel, and check them out. And mark it on your calendars if you really want to check it out.
Yep.
But that'll be happening if you want to ask any questions or see if they display anything live, so you can see it whenever it happens.
Yeah. I should go and be like, are you going to have the capybaras? Can you please have the capybaras?
Yeah, add the capybaras. Everyone tell them to add the capybaras.
Everyone go tell them. Thanks.
But they have talked about adding some new PvE stuff, PVM.
Yeah, I thought this sounded actually kind of cool. So this is going to be the Wind-inspired boss. This is a PVM and skilling encounter. Have you ever started playing OSRS with a friend only to find out that you have to grind hundreds of hours before you can join them on their adventure? I imagine that's probably why it'd be kind of hard to get your friends to join.
Yeah, that's literally everyone ever that started playing without their friends has gone through this.
Yeah. So the Winds of the Mountain would be a mid to low level hybrid skilling and combat group PVM encounter.
That's cool.
That's what we've been talking about going for so long.
Yeah.
And this would aim to solve the problem by introducing a PVM encounter that's open to all. Travel to the top of a mountain where you'll take on the deities of the 4 cardinal winds.
Also, is it deities or deities?
Oh,
Shout out
I
in
don't
the
know.
comments.
I don't know. You'll need to carefully manage your resources in the playable space as you vie to survive the storm and put the deities to rest. I'm not sure what to say. So, hoist the wind sausage, or is that a windsock, to agitate the winds?
Okay.
Okay. Each one comes with a different theme, and they all synergize and overlap with one another. Scary stuff. You can either avoid and manage the potential damage and utilize an area of resources to damage the deity, or hit them with melee and tank the damage best as you can. So from what it sounds like to me, it's kind of optional whether or not you're actually gaining combat XP. I don't know that for sure, But the way they say it, like the using resources, I'm imagining like Wintertop, but like if you could actually damage Wintertop
Yeah, it
physically.
says you can either avoid and manage potential damage and utilize in arena resources. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like you have to hit them. It says
Yeah.
or hit them. So
We could be wrong, you know. That's just our
yeah,
understanding
I
of
mean,
that.
if they really mean everyone, then yeah, that would cover all your bases for
That'd be
sure.
really cool. So here's what you could expect from each of them. So East, the wind of rain. Manage the electrified puddles with some sponge shrooms and avoid the rain clouds and water blast. South, the wind of fire. Manage the wildfire with your hydrated sponge shrooms and gather heated rocks. Avoid the heat waves and fire strikes. North, the wind of ice. Manage the icicles with your heated rocks and gather the ice shards from the ice sculptures. Avoid the hail and frostbite. West, the wind of silence. Take this brief moment of quiet to reorganize yourself. After all, a big storm is brewing. Lastly comes the storm, the winds of chaos. All four deities, deities are now awake, and you have to manage the space with whatever resources you have left and finish off the statues using melee combat or your dwindling resources. See, or your dwindling resources.
Wow. So and also it drops best in slot gear.
Shut up. Be careful though, or you'll be thrown off the mountain. While we still have a few gaps to fill in for this project, we believe it has the potential to be a new, unique encounter that brings combat and skilling-oriented players together. In terms of rewards, we were thinking of offering farming and combat-themed goodies, such as the Gloves of Fertility, which come with the chance to get seeds back when planting. I like that. That was something in Leagues before. The Totem of the Winds, which has the chance to spread extra seeds around your farming patch. Two-handed fan blades, a mid-level melee weapon with a wind blast special attack, and the Tome of Air, which kind of seems obvious that there should be a Tome of Air.
Yeah, that seems cool.
Yeah, I like it. I thought that actually sounded really cool.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. I mean, we've always talked about it being cooler if they had some more early game stuff
Yes.
because a lot of people are like, all right, cool, I want to do, PVM because that's, what everyone sees people doing and it seems interesting. They're like, all right, cool, let me do this, but wait, first, let me spend 80 hours AFK killing sand crabs.
Exactly, yeah.
Because I
like
have to be, 70 all combat or whatever they want to get to, and that takes a while.
Yeah, and the rewards seem nice enough that even people later in the game will come and do it for like the farming rewards and stuff.
Yeah, and also the weapons, while obviously they're not going to be, good, they're going to be pretty interesting at least to use
They
instead
sound like
of
they're gonna look cool.
instead of, as a new player going up and being like, "All right, what am I going to buy?" Oh, the steel scimitar,
A
the
scimitar.
black scimitar, the mithril scimitar.
Ooh, rune scimitar.
Rune scimitar. And it's like, do I want to do monkey madness? I don't know.
Yeah, something a little different.
Buy a D scimitar just in case. Yeah, so it'll be nice to be like, oh, maybe instead of a mithril scimitar, I'll get the fan blades. Or
Yeah,
something like
I
that.
like it.
Plenty of pogs is going to be the next thing. So next up is a plethora of goodies from a dynamic duo that took on not one, not two, but 4 projects, being Mods Ed and Lenny, featuring Mod Errol, Kieran, Rye, and West.
Oh, I should say for the wind one that this is by mods Elena, Gecko, and Jerv.
For this one, it's going to be the Path of Glofrey. Everyone knows the infamous Glofrey, and now we have a new thing for it. It says you may already be aware that the 2007 game backup used to create, not used to, old school RuneScape also came packaged with a few unreleased updates. These updates all launched shortly after the backup was made, so they're mostly complete. Over the years, we've extracted most of them and added them to old school, but there's one we haven't, and it's the Path of Glofrey. So they actually mentioned this, I think, last year.
They did when they released Land of the Goblins because it's the same situation.
Yeah, so
It's so weird that they have this stuff ready.
Yeah.
And it's just sitting there. I know they have to make it more OSRS, but still, it's kind of nuts.
Yeah, I agree.
It's
so
just sitting there.
Kind of funny that they've just been there for, 15 years or something.
Yeah.
Hanging out. But either way, they've reworked the Slayer creatures unlocked at the end of the quest to make them a bit more good.
Yeah.
So we can hopefully look forward to this quest sometime in the future.
Yeah, that just seems obvious. If you have it, why not?
Yeah, why not?
One of their other ideas was Playlist of Gold music system improvements. The tech that powers OS is, unsurprisingly, a little bit old school. That's a good thing in many ways, as it ensures that the game stays true to its nostalgic roots, but the downside is that some background systems are really outdated, the music system, for example. For this game jam, we made a selection of improvements to make the backend to make it easier to add more rune tunes while making it more efficient for the game servers to run. So most of this was back in. There's not too much to show us, but they did find time to add a small new feature that has been regularly requested, which is random music mode.
Absolutely.
How is that not a thing
I've
already?
always
It's
wanted
nuts.
this.
It's just nuts that you have to pick a song and you're like, I don't know.
It's like, do you want to listen to this one song forever?
Yeah, right?
But now it'll, after you're done listening to Sea Shanty 2, it'll go on and play hopefully whatever else.
Yeah, it'll play a random track that is already unlocked, of course.
Yes. Then we have plenty of gestures and emote system improvement. So what's an MMO without the ability to express yourself? Yes, we've also made a bunch of improvements to the back end of the emote system, while you guessed it, adding a couple of new features.
This one's nice.
First up, players can now trigger emotes using chat commands. Instead of having to navigate the emote menu, obviously there's a pretty big list, especially if you've been playing for a while. You can now just exclamation point dance or use a double colon dance, just like how you kind of use emotes on Twitch.
Yeah, it is very much like Twitch's commands.
Yeah, very, very similar. And after you do that, you'll be boogieing down with the best of them. Plus, you can now dance the night away with looping emotes.
If you ever try to get someone hyped during a 99 party, you are spam clicking that
Yeah,
button.
you're just clicking a bunch. These emotes work the same way as they always have, but now, upon reaching the end of their animation cycle, they'll start playing again. It would be nice if you can, that's all, but it would be nice.
Like a sequence?
If you can be like, dance, cheer, dance, boo,
You set a
bow.
loop for it?
Yeah, and then
That'd be funny.
it just plays over and over again.
I mean, if they implement this, maybe that's something they could do in the future.
Yeah, maybe.
That'll make bank standing look more exciting.
Yeah, everyone's just dancing.
Right? Next up is Pubs of Gielinor. Dotted all around the fantasy world of Gielinor, pubs offer a relaxed environment to relax in between adventures, filled with friendly faces and interesting rumors. Except they don't. In reality, most pubs in the game lack both immersion and utility, and this project...
I agree.
Hard agree, right? In this project, we set to fix that by adding selection new features of pubs all across the land. Firstly, we've moved pubs over to the standard shop interface and added a selection of additional foods and drink to the menus. It's now easier than ever to purchase your drink of choice. We've also added a rumor system to bartenders, which lets them recommend a quest to you based on the area you're in. I think that one's super cool, actually. Because then it seems like they actually live there.
Yeah, they already have the thing that recommends quests, but that's just cool.
Yeah. Next, we ported over an update from 2009, which gives pubs their own unique music tracks.
Absolutely.
Yes. Time to try out those new looping dances.
Yeah, honestly, they should have it so that whenever they should add a bunch more like people, like drinking and eating, because that's one thing is like the bars feel so empty.
Yeah. I like the rumor one. I liked especially because it doesn't feel like they actually live in this area right now.
Yeah.
It's like they were just put there and they have no idea what's going on outside of this room.
Yeah, like at all times of the day, there's one dude in the bar.
Yeah, right?
It's like, come on.
He has an issue. It's okay. Alongside all the above, we've also added a couple of new features to help you feel energized before you carry on with your adventures. Firstly, the passive energy restore rate is increased while in a pub. Secondly, you can now speak to certain bartenders to rent a room in pubs that have them, providing an instant full restore for both energy and health.
That's cool.
That's really nice for people who don't have max houses.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that I would just I remember before I had a max house, I would just stand at the bank and then just drink a bunch of stamina pots and also do like drinking prayer pots and food to try and do all this myself.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool.
This next one, I feel like we've gone over before.
It's a little bit different.
Okay, I mean, I feel like we hear about this every game jam.
It's not an expansion.
Okay, so we have the Wilderness Rejuvenation Project by Goblin and Manked. Shout out to them. I see Goblin a lot on the subreddit, so
Yeah.
it seems like hopefully they have a pretty good idea of what they want to do. Either way, they say the undefeated all-star champ and the other one
I wonder which one's which.
have been working on something a bit different to mod Soften's previous version for the next Wilderness expansion.
Which was a year ago now.
Yes.
And nothing on that.
Obviously. Although we think that project has a ton of great ideas, we think it's high time that the current Wilderness got a bit of love.
I agree.
So there is an entire diagram of stuff they want to do, from money-making overhauls to certain areas, Wildy Slayer loot buffs.
They go over basically all these on their own as well.
Yeah, I am not going to go over all of them because that is a lot of stuff, but it covers many things such as wilderness clues.
Yeah, wilderness clues is something really cool. So there are currently around 50 clue steps based in the wilderness. A lot of the time, just being in the wilderness doesn't actually add any difficulty. So they're thinking about relocating these clues to somewhere that has the same item requirements or approximate difficulty. And they would instead introduce wilderness clue scrolls that
Yeah.
all take place there.
I think people have been talking about that for a while.
That'd be so fun. And they'd reward your risk with some fantastic loot for completing wilderness clues, blighted supplies, super restores, and even ornate mall handles are up for grabs, alongside a few other wilderness-themed goodies, which we
Maybe
won't be
some
touched yet.
Laren's keys.
Ooh, maybe.
Maybe.
But I like that idea a lot, having
I
new
do
clues
as
there.
well.
That sounds fun.
Also, speaking of Laren's keys, Wilderness Slayer.
Yes.
As time has passed, we've introduced more and more lucrative ways to benefit from Slayer tasks. Many players are left wondering why they'd bother to do Wilderness Slayer.
Literally me.
Yeah, I mean,
don't
besides
get
the
it.
points, a lot of people obviously don't like Wilderness Slayer, so hopefully they're looking to rejuvenate this overlooked part of the skill and also make Crystallia a little more popular. We also want to make some more general changes, including so they in general they want them to be more lucrative, if anyone missed it, more accessible and a little bit riskier. So this includes increasing the drop rate of Laren's keys, normalizing spawn and respawn rates for across the wilderness to 9 seconds. That's for the mobs, of course. It's to make monsters outside of the Slayer cave worth tracking down because they can kind of take a while to respawn.
Yeah.
Also, supply drops to allow players to stay there for longer.
That's
and
nice.
Adding blighted fragments as a drop from the Wilderness Slayer monsters, and they can be combined into Wildy-only clue scrolls.
I love the idea of the Wildy-only clue scrolls so much.
Yeah. They also go on to talk about some updates to the Wilderness Agility course rework because it's as old as time, being all the way back from 2003.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll add that and maybe make some money as well, because as it is now, there's really nothing to gain there besides XP.
Yeah, so they were thinking it'd be like similar to the existing XP rates, but at the end of each lap, maybe like random loot is added to a chest at the end of the course. So then you can go and loot these and potentially lots of stuff. You won't know what is in your chest until you open it. And they're also thinking about making these skeletons a little bit more aggressive, so you can't just log out immediately with all your loot if someone shows up.
Yeah. And also they include saying that hopefully the cheaper and easier option to implement a system like the Brimhaven Agility Dungeon. For anyone that doesn't know, you build up tickets and then you can spend them at an interface. So
you store up your loot chest basically. And
no
then
real
open it.
risk until you want there to be.
Exactly.
So
I like that.
You can have blighted items, high value alchables, and the like.
Yes, but you will have to buy a key to the course to be able to access it.
Yes.
For max 100k, they think.
They also want to do a potential Truver system rework. For anyone that doesn't know, all of your
nice.
untradables will usually get destroyed, like destroyed if you're above 20 wildy. So a lot of people use Truvers on them.
Yeah, that will just damage it, which costs like 50k to repair. But a lot of people don't even know this exists. I didn't know this existed until the podcast, so
it's a much necessary lesson you'll learn if you go into the
Yes.
wilderness. So their system included for, of course, the Truver parchment, would fix the system by replacing the parchments with a mangled, quote unquote, condition, which would require Purdue's help to fix. The cost would be 10x the repair fee for the broken item. So if a broken fire cape costs 50k to repair, a mangled one would cost 500k. So quite a bit more, obviously. Yeah. Killing a player beyond level 20 wilderness currently deletes the item.
Yeah, which sucks.
With the new system, would award you the GP for their totally mangled repair cost. Below level 20 wilderness, the reward would be the totally broken repair cost.
Cool. So it's not always going to be like 500 gold. It just depends where you're on the wilderness.
Yeah, so if you happen to kill someone that, has a, let's say, Inferno Cape and like 35 wildy, then you could potentially get
500k.
Well, I mean, it'd probably be more than the Fire Cape. So, potentially over 1 million GP just for killing someone and them forgetting to store their cave.
Yeah, it's way less punishing for people who didn't know about Traveler's Pouch existing.
Yeah, because then they would have to spend a little bit of time back at Zuck.
That sucks.
Yeah. So if you don't want to spend money on Trovers, then hopefully this system gets implemented soon.
Yep. Next up is a wilderness resource area overhaul, which, if you ask me, is much needed. Literally, to get in free, you have to finish the Wilderness Elite Diaries, and then you just never go back.
Yep, and it is in the deepest of the wilderness.
Oh, so deep in the wilderness. So they want to make a more attractive option by making small changes to different scaling nodes. So for mining, add a +7 or more invisible stat boost throughout the area. Replace rocks with rich veins that never deplete, allowing players to mine comfortably without waiting around for rocks to respawn. I would love to AFK there. I would just drop everything.
Yeah, and also it's very Well, getting there usually probably not many bots. Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. If this gets added, there would definitely
Yeah, I mean, I say
be.
that, but also, the bosses are still being botted heavily.
True.
So,
Add runelite golems, which when killed, focus as runite veins for extra resource drops. Smithing, they would buff the furnace to have special effects, such as allowing players to smelt without coal,
wow.
allowing players to smelt all ores at once, like blast furnace, a chance to drop extra bars. Buff the furnace to have special effects, such as allowing players to make their entire inventory bars at once, a smithing speed boost, a chance to save bars when smithing an item.
Also, while they do list all these things, I doubt they plan on implementing all of them.
Yeah.
Maybe just as some ideas for the buffs they could give.
And also, I think something to remember too, because I was thinking like this might be too good, is that this isn't deep wildy, and if this got added, there'd be way more PKers here.
Yeah, this isn't 50. Like, it's as deep as you go.
Yeah, anyone can attack anyone, basically.
Yeah.
For woodcutting, adding a +7 or more invisible stat boost throughout the area. Create enriched trees, which will provide either double logs or the chance of double logs, and have a reduced chance to despawn. Fletching, they would add a Fletcher's table used by Mandrit to make his weaponry and ammunition. Lets players fletch any log they obtain with the chance to get multiple items from each log. Lets piles buy unnoted, unstrung bows for just under the alch price, saving players time at the cost of profit.
This could be a really good way for you to get up things like fletching, because if you can double cut logs and then double fletch,
Exactly.
I mean, obviously someone could just come over and kill you, but it might be worth the inconvenience.
Yeah. I mean, it probably won't be it will definitely not be the best XP rates because you're going to get PK'd.
Yeah, I was
But
thinking
you can get some done in the meantime.
maybe this could be good for types of Ironmen because they wouldn't need to go and store a bunch of stuff. They could just go straight from woodcutting to fletching or mining to smithing.
I was just thinking I would just go in the middle of the night when no one's online, mine AFK with just my pickaxe only,
Yeah.
and just chill.
Yeah.
And then have to keep running back, of
It
course.
might be
But
an inconvenience, but especially for the reason I bring up Iron Man, because then you don't have to go and mine for a few hours and then go
Yeah.
and smith for a few hours. You can just
All in one
straight up do
place.
it all in one place without having to store it.
Yeah.
Or especially UIMs, which obviously can't store it.
right. Fishing, add a +7 or more invisible stat boost throughout the area. Add enriched fishing spots with an increased chance for a double dark crab catch and reduced bait cost. Cooking, add an eternal fire, which provides a drastically decreased burn rate and the chance to cook 2 dark crabs at once. I think this will also be very good for PvP because this is all a lot of money stuff that people would be piling up. That
Yeah,
you can get.
dark crabs and runite are really good moneymakers.
Definitely.
And then moving on, we have the wilderness bosses. While we don't want to make anywhere near the extensive changes, they do want to make some few small changes that make them a little bit more appealing. This includes some quality of life changes to the 3 regular loot bosses or wilderness bosses.
Loot bosses.
including their loot table changes to Chaos Elemental and Scorpio, which is why the 2 that I was actually really surprised that they didn't do anything to in the big update.
I know.
Because Scorpio's arguably the worst boss in the whole game. Still.
Yeah. I just never really want to go there anyway because it's deep wildy. If they add some more loot, maybe that'll make me want to go.
The loot's bad. Maybe go there for the pet. Getting out of
I
there
will only go there for the
sucks.
pet, yeah.
There's really no reason to go to Scorpia. Chaos LE people still do, but
Yeah.
even less so nowadays.
Next up is Rogue's Castle. Rogue's Castle is great, but as a Slayer task, it's lacking some value. To kick things off, we want to make rogues worth killing by adjusting their loot table and create more spawns at the building so you can use Ice Barrage on them. They also want to add a new thieving method to the rogue's castle in the form of a glowing chest, which moves from inside to the outside of the building. You would need 70 thieving to open the chest and would be rewarded with noted loot and a chunky XP drop. Of course, you'd still need to contend with the rogues who immediately attack you once the chest is opened. To spice things up, they also want to introduce a golden chest, which when open attracts a superior rogue. This nasty character would use a variety of attack styles and keep players on their toes by switching rapidly between them. We want this encounter to feel like an attack from PK here, a great way to get some PvP practice in with little less risk. Successfully defeating the superior rogue would leave players with some truly epic loot, an enormous XP drop, and a supply package filled with everything players need to get back on their feet.
Cool.
Yeah.
And the final thing is some player quality of life suggestions. They want to consider a selection of player suggestions we've heard over the years. We won't cover all of them, but they want to add them. So
Yeah,
make
just
sure
letting you guys know they did read them.
they did hear your feedback. And speaking of feedback, I'm sure this is someone's feedback. This is going to be a new thing from Mods Grub.
I have
Halo,
some.
Hend, Sarny, Skane, and
I have
Tide.
the most feedback, and the feedback's I love this.
Yeah, so I
You guys
think
ready for the brr?
the Rat King, aka the Michelle.
What?
So this is a free-to-play mechanics-based boss, and they actually kind of made, jokes about this recently with, the rat with the cannon on its back
I
recently.
wish.
Yeah, so they've been
This version's way better.
plenty of rat boss suggestions in the past, and this is another one.
Yeah, and this one is particularly because there's like quite a big gap in learning prayer switches and weapon switches. So there's 3 rats combined by their tails, and they all use different attack styles.
Yeah.
So you get good practice.
So their justification is saying that obviously there is just not a lot of bosses that teach you mechanics that are very valuable in pretty much all facets of the game.
Literally.
Until you get to things like Fight Caves or DS2, Song of the Elves.
You do not want that to be your first experience.
You really don't know what you're doing until you get into the deep end. There's no like boss that kind of tells you what's going on. I mean, maybe you can argue to a very little extent Barrows does, swapping between melee for one boss and range for the next boss.
This one would be way more though.
Yeah, it doesn't really prepare you.
It's free to play.
So yeah, this one is free to play. And the goal of this game jam is to solve the problem by creating an early game boss that teaches essential mechanics like movement, gear switching, and prayer switching, introducing the Rat King. So there's going to be a blue rat, a red rat, and a green rat. But a little bit more information is actually provided, which is nice. In the course of a new quest that we'd release with this update, players will fight the Rat King for the first time and receive a unique rat tail whip, a chipped shard, and a ratty bone.
Ooh.
So they show a little bit of what the arena might look like.
Which is shaped like a rat, by the way.
It is shaped like a rat,
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, they made it shaped like a rat. It's just the very blocky one because it's RuneScape.
Yeah, I was like, it's kind of like a rat. Either way, they say the rat tail whip is a new weapon. The ratty bone can be sacrificed to the new totem do-rat in the Varrock sewer, and the chipped shard can be used on the totem to fight the Rat King again, this time with more mechanics and more potential rewards. There are 3 presets you can use in the fight: easy, which will teach you the movement; medium, which will teach you gear switching and movement; and hard, which will teach the player prayer switching, gear switching, and movement.
I like that they're doing the different settings too, so you can like really ease into it.
Yeah. Man, they have a lot of pictures of you on here.
Stop.
You
Just
can
love the Rat
also
King.
select totem traits, which work similarly to the invocation system found in tombs. A major difference is that some traits also make things easier, letting players get to grips with timings for ticks and get used to prayer switching without draining prayer points. Of course, these beneficial traits will lower the chance for good loot, but it'll maybe help you understand the mechanics, which is the main point. One of the most important parts of the design is the boss will clearly show when something's about to happen.
Yeah, it will like lift up its tail and stuff to indicate something big's gonna happen now.
Yeah, for example, when the boss is about to use a special attack, it might raise its tail above its head to clearly indicate that it is about to happen. Or when it's time to switch gear, maybe there's a visual or audio cue, stuff like that. So a lot of really good with this. Free to play again, for anyone wondering. And gives players some juicy prayer XP. And of course, they'll add some rat-themed goodies.
Yeah, they also want to introduce the first free-to-play poison weapon into the game.
Oh, this is actually huge. They'd also like this boss to be a source of anti-poison.
Oh, is that good for irons?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. You're a Rat King fanatic now.
Well, it's good. It's not an anti-venom by any means.
But something.
It's nice. Anti-poison can be kind of annoying to get. It's not like a super anti or anything, so I wouldn't get... It's not crazy. It's like you can get this other places, but it's nice to have another option.
Yeah. Moving on to Bees by Maud Malia. Team B has been a hive activity since the last Gam Jam. As a reminder, these sweet, bumbly creatures will let farmers make honey from grown flower patches, and about the same time it takes to grow any nearby vegetables. This makes flower and bee farming a good companion to other allotment activities, and as an extra bonus, it comes with a generous XP drop. So you'll be able to make 7 different kinds of honey, which you'll collect using the new bottomless honey bucket, available as a drop from Hespori. You'll get more honey from higher tiers of hives, which you can build using your construction skill. Each honey has different side effects, and they should go nicely with a cup of tea. Now, the bees can be a little aggressive if you don't pacify them before you harvest their hard-earned honey. You'll want to bring along insect repellent, insect repellent, or a full beekeeper outfit. Beehives also have a rare chance to swarm. This will mean your honey production takes longer, but lets you collect the swarm for yourself, relocate to a new hive, or sell it on to another amateur apiarist, a bee person.
A bee lord.
While on about, you'll be able to check the stats of your hives using the geomancy spell. Buzzing to keep some bees, should this content make it in the game, the little ladies themselves would be available from the beekeeper or as a drop from a particular forestry event. So they have been working on this. It's like the last game jam, just making more into this prototype, more detail for it.
That's pretty cool. We have new wildlife. So I'm going to like this a lot. You're going to like this a lot.
Everyone's going to like
Everyone's
this.
going to like this a lot because this is the cutest ever. So there's pictures of Michelle all over the place, particularly this little
mouse thing.
Desert mouse. So the new wildlife game jam idea is by mods Hend and Skylark, my new favorite mods. Animals are a small but important part of OSRS. They bring life to different parts of the world and add story to the area you're visiting. They can be hunted, sheared, fed, or simply admired from afar. Right now we have all kinds of animals in the game, but what if we had more? As we look at adding new areas to the game, we're thinking about adding new kinds of critters.
Ooh.
So they have a great picture of a family of animals, a bunch of different kinds, from birds to beasts and everything in between.
Alpacas.
And above, they have everything, all the models for capybaras, jerboas, fennec foxes, green lizards, salamanders, a variety of toucans, jaguars, and alpacas. These animals live in a variety of different biomes, so could be worked into any geographical location that requires a few new faces. Which one is your favorite, and which animal would you like to see in game? And they have a gif
capybara strutting
of a capybara walking like a lord that
like
they
a
are.
little pimp.
Yes, I love capybaras, and he's got little floppy ears. Honestly, the best men in the jungle.
So something I was confused by about this is because they're just talking about adding it in surroundings, but in the Twitter things that we talked about last month, they were talking about it being a hunter expansion.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's even on the table anymore.
I think it potentially could be.
Like first they just add it as ambiance, and then eventually they start working it into stuff.
Yeah, like maybe they'll add like some of the salamanders or birds, and then maybe they'll add alpacas that you could also shear.
You could ride.
Well, because I mean they could yield, wool, even though
True.
that'd be wrong. But maybe it could be turned into string, similar like wool.
Because my impression reading at first is that these are just animals that you could look at and not really fight.
Yeah, so like
maybe some you could probably fight. Like
maybe they'll add like the fennec fox and stuff like that. But like maybe when they add the leopards or the jaguars, maybe you can hunt those, but that won't be till later or something like that. Or maybe they just only add the capybaras because that's all we need. But
I mean, honestly, I saw somebody posting about this and just saying like, why do we even need to pull this? Because all they're talking about here is literally just adding them around areas and doing nothing, which is like such a good point. Why is this even discussion? Just add more animals.
They have a lot of good ideas that they still, for some reason, think they need to pull. But
yeah, but I mean, this one, the way that they worded it wouldn't affect anyone. They would just be like decoration.
Well, some people might not think they're RS enough.
Oh my god.
So
yeah, people are annoying. Moving on to Hunter Guild and Great Hunts by Mod Other, featuring Mod Melia. For our Game Jam project, we followed up on something Mod Melia explored during previous ideation session, the Hunter Guild, which I think we've spoken about how we'd want to see a Hunter Guild before.
I think so, maybe.
Yeah, I think someone might have asked which one we'd want. We've been thinking about expanding Hunter for a while, and the addition of Guild can introduce new training methods that expand on what Hunter could and should be. This includes catch nets, which would work like drift nets for salamanders and other reptiles. We'd also like to introduce moths, which would add more level diverse butterfly catching opportunities, and a new skilling boss that would see you nursing a large wounded creature back to health. Of course, you have to prove yourself to the guild first. We also looked at ways to get players back in the skill instead of doing birdhouses all the way to level 80, and that's where Great Hunts come in. They're a new kind of content where you're assigned a big, scary creature to track down, with the ultimate goal of capturing it and learning more about it. By interacting with plants, fishing spots, and prey animals in the area, you'll learn what bait your target prefers and which traps might work best to capture it. Once you feel ready, you'll engage the creature, reducing its stamina and resistance stats to 0 so you can capture it safely. Using the correct baits and traps will be more effective, so it's worth taking the time to strategize before jumping in. You'll be able to craft upgraded baits that have different effects. So Sleepy, this would reduce the target's stamina resistance. Hunger would reduce the cooldown between the target's next bite of bait. Chunky, which the target can eat multiple times, saving on inventory space. Become an especially great hunter, and you might even be able to take on an elite contract, the hunter equivalent of superior slayer creatures.
That's cool.
Yeah, if all this sounds exciting to you, please do leave us feedback through all the regular channels.
Yeah, this seems pretty cool.
Yeah, it sounds like a little hunter minigame.
While I didn't do exclusively birdhouses till 80, I did train it till 80 and kind of like everyone else, then stopped.
Right.
Or moved on to herbivore.
True. Maybe some more stuff.
Yeah, it would be nice. We have the Mastery Cape, which is by mods Bruno, Curse, Husky, and Rye. The Completionist Cape is an item that players can obtain once they have completed a set number of requirements and additional tasks, which show that the player has completed the majority of the content in the game and is a true RuneScaper. This game jam, we tackled some of the community's previous concerns about the design by introducing a new point system. Similar to the one we implemented for combat achievements, if you hit the threshold number of points required, as well as meeting all basic or base requirements, then you'll be eligible to claim the old school equivalent, Mastery Cape. This new system means that you can continue to complete tasks and gain points above the threshold requirement, so that if new content comes out, then which then increases the threshold, you'll be able to hold on to your hard-earned cape. Another benefit is that you'll also be able to make up the points required from the tasks you actually want to complete. Whether you're really into combat or Clue Scroll Pro, you'll be able to take home a Mastery Cape of your very own.
That part's interesting.
Yeah, so the base requirements of a Mastery Cape would be quite a lot because it is very much so a Mastery Cape. You are going to need to be maxed. All quests, all achievement diaries, all music, all elite combat achievement tiers complete. So I think
just points wise.
Yeah, I think that includes the point system. So you just would have to reach elite combat achievement tier and 50% of max mastery points. So they have a little bit of a showing of what this might look like, including skilling, combat, clues, exploration, and other. And it would be part of your little setup that shows everything, including your max level, music, where you're at with your combat tasks and stuff like that. So it looks like a pretty decent interface. If you want to check it out, they have a picture of it there.
Definitely.
They'll also like to pitch a trimmed Mastery Cape, which requires everything listed plus 85% of the max mastery points.
That's a flex.
So that is, very flex. And they have some very cool variants of what this could potentially look like.
Yeah, they look pretty. It's basically just adding more lines to all the capes.
Yeah, so
more detailed.
It's to make your max variants look a little bit cooler. So if you want to do your max trimmed, max standard, maxed infernal, or Masori, mythical, everything in between, including imbued Saradomin, then you can make it look cooler than it was before.
Yep.
And to avoid making the Mastery Cape a best-in-slot item, being locked behind thousands of in-game hours, we decided that it'll be equal to the Max Cape in terms of stats and features.
I'm okay with that. It's just a flex.
Yeah, it's more of a compromise so that they'll be allowed to add the Mastery Cape to be combined with other best-in-slot capes so you can flex your old-school prowess kind of like how you do now.
Yeah, I like that. Next up, Age Account Rewards by Mod Halo. Are you super old? Is your account super old? Don't you think it's time you flex that achievement for all to see? So you are in luck because Hans and Lumbridge has a new set of cool cosmetics for proper RuneScape veterans. These rewards would be based on the age of your RuneScape account, which might even be older than old school. Would you prefer a 10-year base system only on the amount of time you spent in OSRS? Let us know. For now, though, here are the reward milestones we're considering. 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and beyond. And then you would see a hypothetical old school elder claiming their, for now, placeholder reward from Hans. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. It could just be like small little things. They have something like that in RuneScape 3.
I kind of don't like this just because I don't have an old account.
Oh, yeah. Mine account is, I'm lucky. Mine's from when I was a kid. So mine's like 15 years.
Yeah, so.
That sucks for you then.
And
maybe they should do what they were saying then and make it since OS started.
This is kind of cool, but also I feel like, this would be cool if you did have an old account, no doubt. But also, I feel like this would make old accounts more expensive. And people might want to buy and sell them more just because of that.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I don't know. That's also just being a pessimist, I guess, to a degree. Either way, moving on to the final thing. I love this one. Infinite amount of ideas, but we finally arrived. This is going to be the graceful skilling outfits.
They look so good.
This is kind of what they've gone over a few times in other updates, but this seems to be a little bit more fleshed out and with a little more inclusivity with other things in mind, being other skills. While this is no solution to the overall problem of graceful and run energy system, it will give Gielinorians a bit more sartorial variety. After all the positive feedback we received about the graceful adventurous speedrunning outfit, we thought it was worth a shot.
Yeah.
So they have some concept art of what a rune crafting, farming, and smithing graceful outfit might look like. Since Mod Jar posted the concept art, there's been a lot of discussion about the logistics of implementing these outfits. The team behind the graceful outfits are all artists, so we're not sending anything until we have a developer on board.
I will say these artists are very talented, and I love these.
They are. That said, we imagine the sets would be combined to gain the boost of both graceful and the original skilling outfits. So nice to not see everyone with the same outfit again.
That would be really nice, right?
But we're not sure if we want to lock them behind a grind. On the one hand, a tough grind would keep these outfits exclusive to only the most dedicated skillers. On the other hand, if nobody's able to wear the outfit in the first place, everyone will just wear graceful again.
Yeah, exactly. I would just say make it like a small thing.
So yeah, if you do have opinions on this, they want you to get your feedback. So make sure to let them know if you like the graceful by itself or if you want to do some skilling with it on.
Yeah, or if you have feedback on anything else from the Gam Jam update, you can go ahead and let them know too at the bottom of the page.
Yep. So that was quite a bit of information.
And now even more information because we have the update.
A little bit more. Yeah, not a ton to go over. So starting the update with some bounty hunter changes.
Woo!
So first up, those of you that just have to dash to the bank mid-fight will be pleased to learn that we've increased the time back to your 2-minute timer when you re-enter the crater from 6 seconds to 15 seconds, which they mentioned previously. Grab your lobbies from the lobby and get back in plenty of time. Who is using lobbies? Free-to-play players? You'll also
know what lobbies are.
Lobsters.
Aw, that's funny.
You'll also get a whole 6 seconds of immunity from rogues after spawning into the crater, which is nice. A lot of
Your
things.
target will still be able to attack you though.
Yes, of course. A lot of these things seem to be stuff that they've already gone over. So
well, we went over it last week in a mini thing, but it's just stuff that's finally in the game now. So we can just do a quick over, really. Like if you're skipping an unskulled target and you're skulled, that no longer contributes to your skip limit.
Yeah.
So you won't be penalized for like not wanting to go against someone unskulled.
Yeah. Also, they added Purdue to the lobby, so if your stuff does get broken, you can fix it there.
Yeah. You'll also be informed that you have penalties on your UI, but you'll need to speak to Corrupted Warrior to learn how long your penalty timer will last. Hopefully they change that later because it's still weird you have to talk to someone.
Yeah. And speaking of the Corrupted Warriors, now they will move out front of the bank instead of standing right in front of it. So now you can click on it properly. And they also added lobby changes. Players are not able to use blighted items there. Yum. And Bounty Hunter World 541 US West has changed to 573 US East.
Yeah, it's weird there's two West Worlds.
And to wrap things up, esoteric emblems now appear correctly when filtering Bounty Hunter Store. We've made a few price changes, reducing everything.
They are not everything. The stuff that I want, so the ornament kits are not reduced.
Yeah.
But like huge things for the armor, like Vesta's body went from 800 to 600. Vesta's longsword 750 to 650. Morgan's axe 400 to 300. I thought this one was crazy. A target teleport scroll used to be 1,000. Now it's 500.
Yeah.
That is
quite
nuts.
a bit less. That is the biggest discount.
Yes.
They also reduced the price of almost all of the consumables from Blighted Karambans to Blighted Restores.
Yeah.
So now, hopefully, gearing up will be a little bit more manageable. Before, the grind was, a lot, to say the least.
Still a lot, but less.
Still a lot, but slightly more manageable.
Yeah.
Hopefully, maybe they reduce it more. Who knows? On one last change, they removed the 75 attack requirement from Stadius's Warhammer. I did notice a lot of people saying that that was a big issue because that wasn't mentioned before. It's supposed to be a strength weapon. So now it requires only 75 strength to equip. So now all of those Zerkers can use it again, which is pretty much the idea.
Yeah.
So that's our last change for now. But keep reading to learn plans for the future of Bounty Hunter. In the meanwhile, though, we've got some exciting news about everyone's favorite woodcutting expansion.
Yeah.
AKA the only.
So, the Forestry Open Beta. The engine team have been tinkering away behind the scenes to improve our beta worlds. Now, you may be wondering what that's to do with forestry, unless you've already read the title of this section or listened to the podcast at all. And the answer is going into open beta.
Meow, 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 meow.
On Monday, the 5th of June, you'll be able to try forestry for yourself. As usual, the beta worlds will be highlighted in blue on the world selection interface, so they're easy to spot.
So if you want to cut down some logs and get attacked by bees, now's your chance.
Yes.
Well, not now, but almost now.
June 5th. Please note, if you are accessing these beta worlds, you'll need to restart the client in order to access them. This will also be a case for hopping back to a regular world from a beta world. This is something that they're going to address in future betas, though.
Yeah. And this is going to include everything that we've gone over like a million times for this, which includes new tree mechanics to help support group play and reduce competition. They added the new forestry kit and currency, so you can check out all the anima-infused bark and all of the stuff that you might get there, including the tools and stuff like that. And also we have the new events.
I'm excited for the events.
Yeah, so you have things like rising roots, so they suddenly appear, and to protect their woody brethren, but you cut them down anyways. Kind of sad. We have the flowering trees where bees appear, and they find the right two flowers to move pollen between for experience. So that's something you might have to juggle with. They have the struggling sapling, help the poor sapling grow big and strong.
Cute.
And then we have the leprechaun. A friendly leprechaun has appeared and now is able to take your wood right to the bank without
That's
you
nice.
having to leave.
Huge.
And moving on, we have leaves, campfires, and tea brewing. So this is actually pretty exciting. These are the boosts and stuff for things like gathering, production, power, and duration. So you can increase your power. Also, there is no, for the power one, it says specifically boost the power of other leaf effects. Doesn't add any actual power. So don't get up in arms if you missed that part.
Okay.
It's not going to give you extra strength bonuses or anything like that. But also you can increase the duration of all of these boosts as well.
Nice.
You can utilize the leaves in two ways, either through campfires or tea brewing. Creating a campfire by lighting some logs, you'll be able to burn leaves to activate their respective buffs. Then you and your lumberjack buddies can all gather around the fire and benefit from the leafy goodness. Or if you're more into drinking, then you can have a sip of tea with all of your leaves for a personal portable buff. The great thing about teas is that you can use the tree roots on your cuppa to give you one of these special tertiary bonuses, which include things like increased clue drop chance from monster and skilling, chances to receive your ranged ammo and magic. To save your ranged ammo and magic runes, boosting your minigame reward points, or boosting your Slayer points and superior spawn chance.
Those are all really nice.
Yeah, those are something that added last minute, which I was really excited about.
Yeah.
And another thing to check out is going to be the Forester's Shop and Rewards. This includes all of the goodies you might want, like the log basket, log brace, forestry outfit, lumberjack outfit, and the funky shaped log if you want to change up the way your beaver looks. Also, normally you'd be able to buy the two-handed axe that they mentioned previously, but sadly it won't be making an appearance in this beta. We have to save some goodies for launch.
I'm okay with that.
But please note, part of the shop will be unavailable to Ultimate Irons for the beta.
Weird.
Just for the beta.
Yeah. Okay. So for the best forestry experience, they recommend making your way to a classic woodcutting spot in Draenor Village, where you'll find the freaky forester himself. Speak to him. He'll tell you all you need to know about forestry and the new events you can take part in. He'll even give you a free sample of anima-infused bark for you to spend on some rewards, and there's a quick option to open up the forestry interface.
Nice.
So yeah, they're actually like so much going on. I've never done a beta before, but I'm tempted.
Yeah.
I kind of like being surprised, but this does sound fun.
Check it out. And some other stuff you might want to check out if you're a mobile user is they actually did some engine update work in addition. So it should be out on Wednesday, June 7th. The team is going to release a client update, and it's going to improve the rendering issues. So
Yeah, there's been some lags, freezes, crashes.
Yeah, exactly. So it's some typical stuff that you might come across. On top of that, they did want to remind you that unfortunately they did have to delay the mobile interface update, but it will hopefully be in the plans to be here soon enough.
Yeah.
It says, although we haven't been able to show off the work this month, you'll see a lot more from us in June, including demos.
That's good. Yeah, that's the one that we mentioned before that was delayed.
Yeah. And like we just mentioned a second ago, they do go over the future of Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, I think it's so weird that they did Bounty Hunter, did other stuff, then went back to Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, they should have just done it all in one shot. It's not like there's a ton to go over here. I mean, they do go over kind of a lot, but it's really stuff they've gone over before.
Well, a couple of these are actually new and like kind of relevant, you'll hear. But the first part isn't surprising. This is the earning potential system again. They spoke about this back in February when they first outlined their plans for Bounty Hunter. If you don't know, EP at a base level is a means for players to earn extra loot while participating in an activity. So, in this particular instance, EP is a primary way for newer players to mitigate some of their losses inside the crater and encourage them to pick themselves back up, get back in, and fight. Keep at it until they secure a target kill and cash in for some extra chunk of loot. Effectively, it's an added layer of reward to soften the blow of lost supplies and gears. So, while we're aware that GP generation for content like Bounty Hunter has proved problematic in the past, as such, we're going to be very cautious about how we handle EP. There's a delicate line between giving struggling players a helping hand and making boosting for monetary gain an appealing option. So in short, any EP system needs to be free from the kind of loopholes we've seen exploited in the past. If 76k means anything, you know exactly what we mean. I don't know what that means. Same time, we're being wary of being too cautious.
Yeah, I mean, I think they can be as wary as they want, but the community is the community, and they'll find a way.
Yeah,
like
it's just to lessen it.
Even now, there is no way to trade any of the rewards, but they're still being bought and sold via your selling.
Well, we're going to talk about that actually in a second.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess we're going to talk about that in a second, but a lot of people are selling kills so people can get bounty hunter points. So, I mean,
don't do that because we're going to just wait. You'll hear it.
I mean, yeah, obviously don't do that, but I'm just saying people are going to find a way, more than likely.
Yes. But our proposal for the EP system, to be eligible, your risked wealth must be above a minimum rate. Currently, it's above 50,000 gold, although this is subject to change. Your EP value will be increased by 2% for every minute you spend in the crater with a target assigned. Dying to your target will increase your EP by 10%. This can only happen every 15 minutes, and you may only accumulate a maximum of 40% EP in this manner. Successfully killing a target will cash in your EP and reward you with a bounty crate. Higher EP equals higher valuable crates. Obtaining a bounty crate will reset your EP value to 0%. In addition, your EP value will not be reset on death or on leaving the crater. You cannot gain EP value if you don't meet the minimum risk, or if you're currently on a matchmaking penalty, or if you're not in the crater itself. You'll receive a notification in the chat box letting you know that you're eligible to earn EP when a target is assigned, or letting you know you're not eligible for any of the above reasons. Then they go over a list showing different bounty crates and how much value they're going to be for given how much your EP is. But it's a lot of numbers, so I'm not going to go over that.
Just know that if you have 100%, the maximum EP, then you can get as much as 500k GP.
Yes.
Or the equivalent.
Yeah. And this is the most important part.
This is what I just mentioned. They have like 8 paragraphs about it, which I'm guessing you can probably summarize as just don't do it.
Well, yeah, but I think that we should read it.
I mean, yeah, we'll read some of it.
So, yeah, like Robert said, basically, don't boost in Bounty Hunter. All these rewards may be untradeable. If there's a will, there's a way. You can bolster your points by nefarious means, which has been happening a lot over the past week. And honestly, I didn't think of this as nefarious. I was like, oh, maybe I would just get an ornament kit by like letting or paying people to let me kill them. I didn't think that wouldn't be allowed.
This is essentially a PKing boosting service.
I didn't think of it like that. Thankfully, I didn't. So, exploiting the low population of certain worlds to sell kits is diluting the matchmaking pool for players who want to enjoy Bounty Hunter legitimately, and ultimately griefing those who've been waiting for this mini-game to turn for a long time. Damn, when they say it like that, I'm like, ooh, okay, glad I didn't do it. To make things clear, we know there's a big difference between exploiting the game and helping your friend through a tough bit of content. The latter is a key part of the MMO experience, after all. The difference is that nobody's able to engage with and complete, say, Tombs of a Masket is impacted by a few friends agreeing to carry their mate through it so that they can get the Grandmaster speedrun combat achievement. However, someone's ability to engage with Honor, PvP, and Bounty Hunter is massively impacted if most of the opponents are only there to sell kills and have no interest in properly engaging with the minigame. Obviously, we could solve this issue by reducing the number of eligible worlds back down to 2, but we don't want to further diminish the experience of players outside the UK and US West regions. Instead, from tomorrow, we're going to begin issuing punishments to players involved in boosting and Bounty Hunter. If we detect that you are buying kills, selling kills, or even participating in a boosting clan or chat, you are going to be banned from the game.
I mean, they should have been doing that already.
I didn't realize it was that big of a deal. I'm so glad I didn't do it. I was even talking about stream. I was like, yeah, maybe I'll end up doing that if I can't get Bounty Hunter. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I didn't. I didn't think about it.
I mean, yeah, you're just, I don't know. You're paying for something that's not supposed to be done.
I was kind of thinking about like other stuff like TOA getting carries. But yeah, no, I didn't think about how it is just like messing up the entire matchmaking.
Yeah.
You'll just get paired with someone and they'll be like, I'll only let you kill me if you give me money.
Yeah, this is exactly how it used to be.
Yeah.
Where you'd kill people for money because it was worth it.
Yes. So they're not taking this decision lightly, but RuneScape is a community-driven game, and Bounty Hunter has been seriously impacted by the actions of a few bad apples in the past. If you're actively undermining this experience for other players, you'll be removed from the game. So, with that bit of unpleasantness out of the way, though, we could take a look at some of the other changes they want to make.
So, some quick adjustments to the esoteric emblems. Our next suggestion is a tweak to the way emblems and points work. While we've been seeing absolute loads of you getting stuck into PvP for the first time, we've also seen feedback from veteran players, and the current implementation of emblems might encourage kill streaks a little bit too much, which is kind of off-putting, especially for newer players or players that can't consistently rack up their numbers.
Me.
Currently, you need to score 9 target kills in a row to secure a tier 10 emblem, which is kind of a lot.
Yeah.
And you can hand them in. You can hand them in sooner. It's not always easy to step back from a winning streak, and losing it all on the last hurdle doesn't feel good.
Definitely.
I feel like it should just knock it down a couple. Our proposed change will make the emblem system less punishing. They are as follows. Killing your target will reward 2 bounty hunter points and level your emblem by a tier. This behavior is unchanged. Kill milestones at 10, 50, 100, and 500 will remain as they are.
Still insane to think anyone can ever get 500.
Yeah, seems kind of low. Killing a target with an emblem of their own no longer rewards additional bonus points, meaning if you kill a target who has a tier 9, you won't receive any extra points.
I feel like that's probably related to the boosting.
Probably.
Yeah.
Dying with an emblem will reduce its tier by 1 rather than outright deleting it. Okay, so
that's
so
actually,
they literally I just said that and
Robert
they
had a
took it
premonition.
and they typed it out.
Yeah.
So that means that dying with a tier 9 will simply downgrade it to tier 8. So you just have to win more than you lose, and you'll be able to actually get to tier 10.
That's actually so cool. I like that.
Yeah. However, if you have a tier 1, you will lose it. So
yeah, I mean the most I've ever had is tier 1. So
there's no way to downgrade it. So you might want to get another one. Also, they made some adjustments to ancient armor.
Yeah, in particular, Stadius's and Zuriel's armor sets can use a little bit more love. So they went and adjust those a bit. There's a lot of numbers here. We're not going to go over all of them.
Just know that they made Vesta's chain body, plate skirt, and Stadius's full helm, plate body, and plate legs. Zuriel's hood, robe top, and robe bottoms all a little bit better at what they already do.
Well, some got reduced too.
Some got reduced, but overall they tried to make it better for what they're used for.
Yeah, more relevant to how they're supposed to be.
AKA Stadius is a little less tanky, but a little bit more punchy with increased crush bonuses.
Mm-hmm.
But so just be aware whenever you are looking at the gear, make sure to take into account what their new stats are, or if you have them, then maybe re-equip them and try them again.
Yeah, if you're on YouTube, we'll be linking this blog post in the description as well, so you can go and check it out.
Yes, there is a lot of numbers, so we don't want to confuse anyone.
Definitely. It always gets so confusing.
They also wanted to propose some tweaks to Vesta's spear. Currently, this weapon special attack consumes 50% and damages up to 16 targets within 8 tiles around you. That seems pretty cool on paper, but in a 1v1 environment, it is not very good. AKA
Bounty hunter.
Useless.
Seems like it'd be nice if you're in the wilderness and clans jumping you, but other than that, like, what?
They do suggest reworking it so that it impales one enemy for up to 100% of your max hit, then performs a second hit for between 25 to 75% of your initial damage as you yank the spear back out. While your opponent is reeling, you'll enter a defensive stance and gain immunity to melee attacks for 4.8 seconds. This seems really strong.
Yeah.
We know this is a little spicy for a special attack, but we thought it was a bit more interesting of an option than essentially not having one at all, which it definitely did before.
Yeah.
That's a wrap on everything we're thinking about for the future of Bounty Hunter. We're still keeping a close eye on your feedback following launch, including teleports within the crater, a dark imbued bow, and the Void Waker. Minimum coffer deposits, and more, so make sure to stay tuned.
Yep. Some other changes, some cute little things going on in the game. Today's update sees a never-before-seen change. We added some new overhead chat effects for the first time ever. Take to Felder the Grand Exchange with these new tools to make your riots really pop. So the new commands are rainbow : and pattern, and then you'll type XYZ.
For instance,
Relevant.
if you did if you typed in pattern Q3 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 : I am a bumblebee, it would type out, wow, I am a bumblebee in
Black and yellow.
black and yellow.
Yeah, it's cute.
Alternating as you'd hope it would.
Yeah, there's an entire diagram showing all the different letters and combinations that you can use to type whatever unique messages you need. But I thought that was really cute. The rainbow, I like it.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Also reminds me, Happy Pride Month, everyone.
It is Pride Month all month, so we'll probably be reminding you again.
I know, I'm sad that there's not the Pride event yet. I hope that they bring it up soon.
Yeah.
They said they'll do another one.
As for changes this week, the release all placeholders button in the bank has now a confirmation warning.
Oh my
Thank
god,
goodness.
right?
Why is this in such an
terrifying.
easy to reach place?
It's terrifying.
On a free-to-play world, players can now see the names of members' items, written like Dragon Dagger.
Oh, it's so annoying. Yeah,
Yeah.
before it would just say members item.
Yeah, you just have a full, like everything in your bank, members' items,
I know,
members'
it's
items.
like, okay.
They also made it so the Amulet of Nature can now notify you about fully grown or diseased patches from your inventory. That's
I didn't even
cool.
know that did that, actually. I should invest in that.
Also, a couple of people that are on the C++ client might want to know that Radimus Urkel is now correctly highlighted when using the clue scroll helper. Speaking of the clue scroll helper, it no longer thinks a round blue snelm can be used for a clue that requires a pointy blue snelm. And finally, Morrigan's throwing axe BH and Morrigan's javelin BH are no longer considered ammunition.
Okay.
And also,
I hate this.
the most archaic of all
I hate it.
crack the clue clues is
It's a
a
scroll with
bunch
just
of
dots.
dots.
Wook says Rise is another cryptic clue this week. Quote, no additional info will be required.
Yeah, so shout out
I
to
love him. I
all
love
of
him
you
so much.
champions still on that grind. And for anyone wondering, it is a one defense pure week in the arena.
Nice.
So that was quite a bit to go over.
So much this week. I didn't think that there was going to be anything, so that's really funny.
I doubted that we needed to say this, but if there is anything we missed, it's kind of on purpose. If you want to see the
like we said, it's late.
If you want to see the full thing, go check it out on your own. Read through specific parts that we may have missed. We will have links in the description if you are watching this on YouTube,
Yeah.
or you can go to the news section of Old School's website.
Just a very busy week, so we kind of started this late.
Yeah. And speaking of ending late, we have our ending, which is going to be a few questions from the community.
Yes. Our first question is going to be from Mandy over on YouTube.
Shout out, Mandy.
Shut up. Do you think Old School is becoming too hard? Some people really like these hard challenges, but personally, I like the long grinding back in the day. Not a huge fan coming home after work to stress out on this game.
I couldn't agree
Robert
more,
read that
Mandy.
and was like, oh my god.
I hate coming home from a long day of work. You know, I've already been up for 15 hours, and I just come home to work some more.
I mean, that's RuneScape. You think it's coming too hard?
Yeah, I like, that's the reason I still do skilling sometimes, because it's actually fun. Like, I come home and just like
Chill.
grind out some skills, listen to some music, watch a video or two while I get some like cool loot or something.
Yeah.
But like everything nowadays feels like, oh, when's the next boss with 89 mechanics? But it's really just making sure you can think in 0.6 seconds really well.
True.
So yeah, I would like it if there was more updates to content that wasn't so crazy.
Just normal things.
Yeah, not saying, I don't think there's a hugely disproportionate amount of PVM stuff, don't get me wrong. It just, I think that's a big focus recently, and it's kind of not really what I'm looking for right now.
Yeah. I think it's becoming harder. I don't know if it's too hard, but also like I'm in a different situation where playing RuneScape low-key is my job.
Yeah.
So I don't think I get as tired of it because I like the challenging stuff because it's content for me and stuff that I could stream.
Yeah.
So harder stuff is better for me in that way. But I know that there are some stuff that like annoys me with how difficult they are.
Yeah.
Or just that everything's hard. Like I do love a simple little skilling update. And maybe that's why I love the quality of life ones so much. Just
Yeah.
chill little things.
Maybe.
I thought that was a good question though.
We do have a question over on Discord from Harriger.
Yeah, so back to sailing, since it's a pretty relevant theme. Do you guys think agility should include more water aspects in the future? So here are a couple examples. Example 1, your ship sinks. Instead of drowning instantly, what if you could tread water? The higher the agility, the longer you can tread and wait for another ship to rescue you. Or you can swim to a nearby shore. Again, taking less energy depending on agility level. example too. You can dive off your ship and climb onto someone else's. That's nuts. That'd be
Yeah.
funny. I want to like, I want to be in like the crow's nest, and they have like the ropes on the side of the ship. I want to be in my crow's nest and jump onto someone else's rope.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'd have to jump really far, but I could do it. I could probably do that in real life.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think that would be cool. I think it'd be cool if you got one of the bigger boats, you could go to an island and the island had a course on it. So it would require some sailing in order to get to the island.
Okay.
And it may, I don't think you should
So
make
there wouldn't
it
be a
the
water
best.
aspect. It would just be like it takes you to things.
No, I think there should be way more water aspects. In general, I think it's not used enough, especially in things like agility. Like there's there's literally no water in any agility course as far as I know.
There's like Survivor things that they've done where they kind of have to like go and do stuff in the water, like testing their agility on Survivor.
Yeah.
Like they could do something like that, like a course in the middle of the ocean that's like you have to swim down and grab this thing in like a certain amount of time and then swim back up before you like lose energy. But it'd be like, well, you can still hold your breath.
Yeah, I definitely think agility is one of the weakest skills as far as how well designed it is. So I think there's a lot of room for improvement, including design diversifyingness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just diversifying the laps, because all the laps are the same. You're just on rooftops,
I know it's annoying.
or you're in the wilderness.
The saying that they kind of even acknowledge that they're gonna like
It's not
agility is
very
not where it
good.
should be.
Yeah, it's just not. So yeah, I think they could add stuff like jumping through waterfalls, climbing on ropes on a boat.
Yeah.
I
I like your idea of instead of drowning, like treading water.
Yeah, swinging on a palm tree over a crocodile-infested river. Anything like that.
Yeah. This crocodile especially sounds really fun.
Yeah.
Next up is our question from Matt on Instagram. Matt did start out by saying, I'm glad I finally posed a question that you said you'd quit to. Because last week, Matt and Harker are always asking questions trying to see if we'd quit. And I never say that to quit. And I finally was like, okay, maybe. They said, Harker and I were laughing because we've always done these scenarios. Most players are so addicted to RuneScape that they will never quit.
Oh, not me.
I know, not Robert. We get it, Robert. You always talk down to me and you're bored of this game and it shows.
Other games exist.
No, I'm trying to sound like that comment. By the way, Harger said he's doing an agility question about integrating agility into sailing. So I kind of wanted to get your thoughts on integrating other skills into sailing. So first question, what skills do you think will be involved in building ships? They think smithing, like metal components, crafting, sails, ropes, etc., construction, putting everything together. And second question, what skills can have major new opportunities because of sailing? I can see coral mining, swimming for agility, sea plants, herblore, deep sea fishing, spells and prayers to influence ocean tides and winds, sea monster slaying and hunting, and of course, fish farming. I feel like, okay, we'll answer the first one first, actually. What skills do you think will be involved in building the ships? Construction will be the main one.
Yeah, so construction for sure. Potentially crafting.
I don't really see the smithing being a part of it, really.
I don't think there's too many metal components that they would do. I think metal components is like a newer ship thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now that there's like not metal ornaments and stuff on old boats. But
I guess this kind of goes along with smithing. I'd like construction to also be a little bit required into customizing it to make it look cool.
Yeah, I think it would be. I
Or
think
crafting actually might be better for that. Crafting things to decorate your boat with.
I don't want to be a pessimist, but I think they're really gonna miss the
customization
They're gonna
part.
miss the boat, if you will, on
No one says
executing
that.
on great customization. I think it's
Yeah.
all gonna be the same.
I know. It probably will be. But at least something. Give us crafting small little things to decorate with, please.
Yeah.
Customizing stuff is like the most fun in games.
But yeah, I think mainly construction, potentially crafting, maybe.
Yeah, I could kind of see like the sails and rope just like coming with it automatically.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
construction.
So I was like, I don't know.
It
maybe.
should include the most skills it can, but I don't think that it will.
If I'm being honest, I really think it's just construction. But
you hope to see more.
you can easily add a lot of different stuff to it.
Definitely.
Yeah, you can even add fletching to it if you really wanted to.
Oh, true. Yeah, that would be nice.
Or yeah, like doing something with the sails or with the flags. You can add more
Really
stuff
building your
there
own ship using woodcut and get your logs.
in real life. But yeah, and then the second skill is what skills.
The second skill.
The second question. What skills can have major new opportunities because
Low-key,
of sailing?
everything.
I was going to say everything too.
Everything. Yeah, you can like all the stuff that you said were really good. I was actually thinking swimming for agility as well.
I was thinking everything that's not a production skill.
Production or which ones again?
So like smithing, herb lore,
I
fleshing.
mean,
Like I don't know why
stuff
those
like
would be
that, like
used.
herbal, or you can go and there's like herbs that grow underwater, like coral kind of.
Potentially,
I was thinking
but I
like
mean, we already have underwater, so why would that limit it?
because you'd have to sail specific areas.
I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
like
Or on
they
specific islands.
could add stuff like that, but
I was thinking thieving. There could be like kind of like a dangerous thieving area where it's like a big creature underwater that you have to sneak past it, like Sorcerer's Garden style, to get the loot.
I guess
You don't like my idea.
I don't dislike it. It just seems real like shoehorned into that position, not like as like something that would happen.
I just thought it'd be cool. I was
Yeah,
trying to think of a way to make
sure.
thieving work, though. I'm not the most creative.
No, that's fine.
Going onto other people's ships and looting them.
I think by far the most obvious Slayer. If you're not killing
Yeah.
big monsters at sea, what are you doing?
Exactly. I want to be using cannons and stuff, shooting like not krakens, but something else.
Yeah, I think a good one would be farming. There might be like some patches.
Yeah, add some
on
more additional
islands.
patches, like an extra tree.
Fishing's a no-brainer.
Yes.
Obviously, some kind of fishing. Maybe
I like the coral mining idea too.
in addition to like drift netting or something like that.
That could be cool because it's only available in one place right now.
Yeah, drift netting is pretty popular still, but could
Pretty good XP.
be more popular.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
You
stuff
can
like
literally
that.
just do any skill.
Yeah,
really.
honestly, if you get creative, you could really do any skill. I mean, I like the idea.
That's
Of,
why I'm excited for it.
yeah, I like the idea of coral mining. Just
Yeah.
like the uniqueness of it.
And then you'd craft stuff with the coral.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, that's really why I'm the most excited for sailing now. Is just because I mean, I won't say the most excited. I still wanted shamanism to win over it, but just that it's like so many skills can be implemented with it. Whether it's
Yeah.
on the boats, on the ocean, underwater, on these new islands,
And
like
we're
you
only
could
gonna
really
get
make everything.
2 of them, probably.
Please no.
It's gonna be fishing and Slayer.
I hope
Everyone
not.
knows it.
I hope not. I
Yep.
want all of it.
Nope, too bad. But
Uh.
hopefully we're wrong, or I'm wrong.
Hopefully.
But anyways, that is gonna be about it. Like I said, feel free to ask us any questions you have, game related or otherwise. But you can do that at where, Michelle?
Yeah, any of our social media, so our Twitter, our TikTok are both Bunebapeosrs. Our Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch are all Bunebape. I stream 5 days a week at twitch.tv/Bunebape. So come hang out with me and come ask questions.
Yeah. So thanks again for listening. Hopefully you all enjoyed it, and if you did, we'll see you all here.
Very soon. Bye-bye.
Meep meow.
Meow.
You see how I combine those?
Meep meow.
Yeah. Meow.